Mental health disorders currently affect 1 in 4 people globally. That amounts to 450 million people worldwide that are faced with a mental health disorder. In the UK, 1 in 4 people will experience a mental health problem each year. According to the mental health charity Mind, in England, 1 in 6 people report suffering from a mental health problem in any given week. With 1 in 10 school children now recognised as having a diagnosable mental health condition. 75% of young people who are experiencing a mental health problem are not receiving treatment. Mental health disorders are the single biggest cost to this country and cost the UK £100 billion annually. For many people, the symptoms of mental health are unknown to them, and they therefore conclude that their thoughts and odd behaviours are unique to their respective characters. This results in labelling themselves as weird or at fault. It is this unknown factor that makes for a more challenging set of circumstance. I can only imagine that for a child or young adult, such experiences would be awfully scary and leave them feeling confused. Learning how to navigate this subject is difficult, and it can take many years to piece together a coping strategy. For many young people, the choice to speak about their mental health can be very difficult, and it is not always easy for them to reach out to those around them. It is this phrase, reaching out, that I have decided to focus on for this project. For a teenager or a young adult, accepting that one has flaws is counterintuitive to the messaging and the culture that they are exposed to on a daily basis. So, how do we build a path to this starting point? The answer is to create an access point that offers discretion and ease. Provide the young people with an alternative to the uninspired documentation that is often found in their local surgeries and access centres. Speak to them using a narration that they can comprehend, that being one that is visual. In an Instagram-led culture, the visual vocabulary of the majority of young people is sophisticated and able to accommodate complex narratives. Therefore, I propose the creation of a coffee table book that would act as a first point of contact for young people between the ages of 14 and 25 years old. The objective would be to provide a visual representation of the trials and feelings that one experiences when living with a mental health disorder. I propose that this product would be produced in cooperation with youth-orientated brands and delivered through outlets such as coffee shops, campus-based venues, music festivals, and lifestyle stores and fashion shows. It is my intention to engage my target audience in the environments in which many of their insecurities originate. By using a visual language that is trend-led and in keeping with the aesthetic present in youth-orientated brands, I therefore present a document that young people would feel comfortable engaging with. For me, this project has been about navigating the stigma around mental health and providing young people with a first point of contact in the endeavour of addressing their mental health concerns. I have found the experience informative, and I believe I have provided a solution that accommodates all of the original criteria as laid out in my design brief. For me, this project has been about realigning the conversation around mental health within the wider community. Primarily, the conversation taking place around mental health and young people. By creating a new language and a visual narrative that is more youth-orientated and exists outside of the normal language used when addressing mental health. I have created a narrative that is more suitable to engaging with young people. It is also one that can be transferred into many different venues and formats, and therefore would be more well suited to being rolled out on a large scale through many different avenues. Upon reflection, I am taken with the notion that we can choose to reinterpret the conversation of mental health And throughout the project, I have enjoyed experimenting with the various ways in which this can be achieved. I believe that in order to address this problem of mental health within society and the myriad of challenges that it presents, we must think differently about the conversation. I believe that this project goes some way to achieving these goals. If I were to continue with this project, I would look to further develop the product and investigate how I may broaden its appeal through a multi-format rollout.